Well, this is Deroy Cruz, your life applications officer. Um, I will admit that some things over time were good to change. For example, women in the workplace. Some things are good, some things are BS. This is not really a good quality setting here, but and a television is interfering, but let me know what you think. Back in the day, women weren't, before women were police officers, before more women were in the military and all like that. I believe by now that women being involved in strenuous activities that used to be 100% male, no female. It's good today that we do have women police officers. We do have women in the military, I guess. We do have women climbing poles, and doing mechanics and all like that. Not because if we didn't, women would be treated unrighteously, but because of the fallen state, the situation that we are in, where men aren't really doing their part, and men aren't taught to be the hunters and the macho guys that they used to be. Men aren't taught to be, men aren't taught to stand alone like they used to be. Okay, when I was a kid, I was pressured to join the military and I didn't. Over and over, I was pressured to join the military and I refused. When it was time to join the police force, I cowered it out. Okay? And you couldn't get me to go out into the woods and hunt nothing. Okay? I can barely go out and fish. And one of my most funnest experiences and my most embarrassing experiences was fishing out in the deep sea. I did that one time in my life. I had a blast, but I also was so embarrassed. I'm not going to go into why I got embarrassed, but I'll probably never do that again, even though it was the funnest thing I've ever done. But it's also the most embarrassing thing I've ever done. And I got a big one. Okay? And me and two men out there, being men, we was catching some big ones, and I caught, I had a half a bucket. That's, and, that's one of the things that my dad didn't, live long enough to teach me. But other men in the church took me out there and helped me to, get that opportunity. And I'm so blessed. But even though I'm blessed to have experienced that, from that experience, I'm not into fishing. Just like all the swimming lessons I went through, I'm not a swimmer. Even though I was the fastest man on the team. You can't get me to go near the water. Okay? And it wasn't the swimming that bothered me, it was the training that bothered me, because If you said, hey, D-Ray, I need you to start off in the deep and swim to the shallow, okay, that I could do, okay? It was when you told me to go all the way down and swim back up to the top. That I can't do. That I can do. Without having somebody come in here and have to come in here and save me, okay? And I was teaching somebody else how to swim. And I told them to do it. They did it. And when they got back to the top, that child got back up to the top and said, I ain't doing that. But anyway, let me put this on. Is this a hearing aid I got sitting here? Because I feel like the world is depriving me of sound here. Oh, whatever. But what do I want to add to that? I guess what I want to add to that is the fact that trying to think of the word, our cultures to be re-challenged, or our cultures to be changed, to me is still a no-no. It's a no-no. Okay? We need to continue to be the women that we are. We need to continue to be the men that we are. We don't need to try to mix our genders together. We don't need to try and teach our children that if they are unhappy with themselves, they can be somebody else that they know nothing about. There's not a bloodstream, a bone, a organ, a piece of tissue inside their body that tells them, let's say a young man, that he can be a woman. What told him that? Like, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, if I go outside and I think I'm one with the wind and I belong outside, so I go out there with hardly nothing on and freeze myself to death, please either lock me in my house or shoot me. Okay, I mean, and then where do we begin to say, like me and a guy was talking last night, where do we begin to say that this is okay? Or where do we begin to say, here's the line, don't cross it? There's no line in the homosexual community. I was listening to a guy yesterday. Me and a guy was listening to this guy yesterday talking about attraction to little boys. Gay dude explaining his attraction to little boys and that it's not an attraction. Or should I say, it's not wrong to be attracted to little boys as long as you don't engage. Now, are you saying don't engage because our government won't let you engage? I think so. Do you realize how many boys and girls are homosexual by force and they don't want to call it that? They don't want to call it that. Do you know how many boys and girls have been molested, and they fight it every day? They fight to hold on to their gender. They fight to be recognized as a man, recognized as a woman, recognized to be strong and tough and powerful. And even though they've been molested, But then you got those that cower it out and say, well, I was gay all along. Or, I was lesbian all along. No, you wasn't. And this is not about that, but that's just an example. Where do we draw the line is what I'm asking the atheists, where I'm asking the homosexuals, men and women, the feminist movement, where do we draw the line and say, it's me, I need to get myself right. I need to get myself together. And stop blaming the world and stop going way out here out on the edge where I'm going to fall off, okay, and blaming it on everybody else that I'm on the edge. You know what I'm saying? Everything I can't fix, I'll just call it normal. No, it's not normal. And it's not right, okay? Where do we draw the line with the right to protest? If your protesting is about you interfering with somebody else's privacy, if your protesting is about making, me work harder for something I'm not getting paid for. Okay? If your protesting is breaking things and people and smashing things and putting people in the hospital and, going back to Kyle Rittenhouse, whether it's you bringing a gun or you done stepped off the edge of night so far, you got other people bringing guns. Where do we draw the line? My line is here in my house. You walk through that door without my permission, you done crossed the line. And now whatever happens to you, I'm sorry, just happened to you. If you walk back out that door with your nuts missing or some nipples or whatever, or a hole in your head, an eye missing, whatever, okay, that's where I draw the line. But I'm not out to hurt anyone that don't believe in me, that don't like me, that hates me. Okay, because to me, that's all natural. It's natural for people to hate me. It's natural for people not to like me. It's natural for people to, want to make fun of me. Just don't put your hands on me. And when I'm together with my people and we're doing our thing, okay, I don't recall inviting you. So don't come in there talking about no BLM or come in there talking about, telling me I did something wrong to you. I don't know you. Where'd you come from? What did I do to you? No. Where do we draw the line? Where do we draw the line here in the United States and our connections with our allies around us? Why, me and this guy was talking about this last night. Like, why is it that when people from the United States go into other countries, please riddle me this. Why is it when Americans go into other countries, there's 100,000 YouTube videos on this. They'll send you a video and say, oh, you gotta respect the culture. You gotta respect the island. You gotta respect the way the people here do things. You gotta respect, their space. And there's a lot of things you can't do in Japan as an American. There's a lot of things you can't do in China. There's a lot of things you can't do, in the Arab nations, Africa, you name it. There's a lot of things you can't do as an American in these countries. And what do they say? Oh, that's okay. I don't see anybody in these countries talking about Americans matter. Unless black folks go over there, like the dumb behind black girl. If I saw the girl in my presence, I'd probably get arrested for really, really insulting her with some very nasty words, some very nasty comments. Didn't nobody tell her to take her race baiting behind Japan in the first place. She chose to go over there in a peaceful place like that, where ain't nobody even thinking about her, and decide to Black Lives Matter. In Japan, there's a word that starts with a B that comes out of my mouth every time I think of that story. And if I saw her, the first word, I couldn't say hello. It'd just be, like, you crossed the line, really. You're trying to claim that people are racist to you, and you don't know nothing about them. Some places, it's just, if you come over there and you ain't Asian, or you ain't Japanese, or you ain't Chinese, or you ain't Asian in some way, you just an American. And that's the way they see you. They don't see you being anything other than, unless you got a problem speaking English. But other than that, they see you as nothing but an American. That's the way they see you. They don't see you as black or white. They see you as Americans. Especially if you come over there and you got your head on straight. You know what I'm saying? You come over there and you know what you're there for. You got something that they can use. You got something that they need. Whether it's like most Americans go over there to teach English, or most Americans go over there to do something that, in the engineering department, something that they can use that they don't normally do in their country, that they need American help with. You got it. They see you as an American. They don't see you as black, white, or whatever else. Okay, until you get over there and you don't know how to speak a single word of English straight. And then they're thinking, oh, well, he's straight up Arab. He's straight up African. He's straight up a brother with some Ebonic problems. We don't know what he's here for, but I understand him a little bit, It's up to you to make sure that whatever you do, you make the best impression on yourself and do the right thing so that people get the right impressions about you. Okay? And I'm one for that every day. And every day I catch myself. D-Roy, stop talking so loud. There's people coming to the window. They might get the wrong idea you're talking too loud. I understand you got a hearing problem, D-Roy Cruz. But stop talking so loud. They're coming to the window. Shh. Tell myself that every day. I tell myself, watch what I say around certain people, because certain people, all they think about is using whatever power they have over whatever power they think you got. Be careful what you say. I say a lot of things on video, and I encourage a lot of people that want to argue with me to come watch my videos. But I don't dare go out on the street and just be randomly, calling a bunch of thugs the N-word, even though that's what they are. Not because the white man called them that, because I called them that. Okay? But I'm not going to say that to their face, then I'd have to shoot them. Okay? Because they definitely going to come after me, right? But, you know, this is why I love the Bible so much, because what's in that Bible that ain't in America, what's in that Bible that ain't on television, what's in that Bible that ain't in none of our cultures, is the fact that at one time we had a culture. And at one time we had what belongs to us as a Christian nation, as well as Americans. We had what belongs to us, as we were trying to, it never happened, but we were trying to make this a Christian nation. However, let's not get it twisted, atheists. This nation was founded on Christian principles. This nation was founded on Christian principles. Might not have been a Christian nation, but it was founded on Christian principles. Christian principles that we can all live by, regardless of what our gay feelings are, or what and they're only feelings, our gay feelings, our atheist feelings, our, I don't need no mama, I don't need no daddy feelings. You know what I'm saying? I don't need to go to college feelings. I don't need to join the military feelings. I don't need to be a cop feelings. I don't need to, you know what I'm saying? I don't need to ever get married and have children feelings. I need to be alone feelings. I don't want to be with anybody feelings. All your different feelings. The Christian principles that this nation was founded on opened the door for everybody, all y'all street people, as well as Christians, as well as the wealthy, to live in peace. But what destroyed the peace? Because you got to the point to where you don't want people that think better than you, that act better than you, that don't need to go to the bar on Saturday in order to have a good time. I talked to someone about this yesterday. Like, please explain to me, why are people getting arrested for having a good time? You don't know how to have a good time without getting drunk? You going to tell your wife? You going to pick a fight with your wife before you go to the bar? Let her know you're going to get drunk. Don't try to stop me. Don't get lonely. Keep it hot and bothered when I get home. I'll be drunk, but keep it hot and bothered. Seriously. Are you kidding me? Same thing with guys. Oh, I'm going to be out with friends. Oh, baby, I'm going to be drinking. If you don't like it, well, she might just leave, fool. And they do all the time. Over what? The number one things in this world, that in this country, that's making us a lot of money, and that's the brewery. Every hotel, every high-class restaurant, okay, I mean, even in the upstairs corporate offices of these tall buildings downtown Pittsburgh and any other major city, okay, you got bars in there, you got liquor in there. There's people who drink before they get off the property to go home. Okay, everybody's drinking. And I've been smelling alcohol on people's breath on the job. I smell alcohol all over the elevators. Visitors don't get to go through this elevator. Only employees. How the heck is it smelling like, a 50-pack of beer in the elevator? I mean, come on. People come to work drunk. People are getting on airplanes drunk. When the airline people come around, we're watching them really closely. And they want to drink so bad, some of them, and they lock themselves in a lounge and they lock themselves in there, and it's so hard for them. They want to go get a drink so bad, and then on their last day, when they get to spend the night, they're up half the night drinking, but, where do we draw the line, people? A lot of things in this world that we don't need. Where do we draw the line? There's a lot of things in this world that'll get you killed because of your own stupidity, because of your own desire to be something that you're not. And it's just causing trouble. And you think that you're doing right by your kids. These kids haven't grown up yet. These kids don't know any better. Just this week, I witnessed, fathers, and, I was telling this guy about this yesterday too. We were talking about that, so these guys taking their kids in the bars. That ain't no way to raise your kid. You don't take your kid to the bar with you. He'll be an alcoholic by the time he's 12. You don't take kids in bars with you. Especially, it's one thing if you and your wife are together and you sit down and you're having a glass of wine together. But going to a bar where people in there acting rowdy and crazy and all, you don't take your kid in there. But it's okay. He's not allowed to drink. Doesn't matter. He's around it all the time. And when you take a kid around things that he's not allowed to do, but you make him hang out there, the first thing he's going to do behind your back is sip. That's the first thing he's going to do behind your back. The only reason why I didn't drink my father's canteen down when I was a kid was because I couldn't stand the smell when I put it up to my lips. And one day I finally was ready to take my first sip, and he smacked it out of my hand. Okay? First time I got high, I would do anything to get high again. I wanted that feeling again. And somebody snitched on me. My mom gave me the best whooping I ever had. And to this day, that whooping has saved my life. You can't beat your kids today, though. You know what I'm saying? You can't beat your kids today. You know what I'm saying? You going against their human rights. Okay. But I'm closing. Where do we draw the line, folks? You do all this wanting to battle it out with Christians and want Christians to shut up and sit down and shut their nasty mouths. But where do we draw the line? Where? Sex has a line that you don't cross. Love has a line that you don't cross when it comes to relationships. Okay? You can do anything for anybody without contaminating your body, without, degrading your own body. You can show any kind of love for anybody. But there's certain things you can't do when you're married for other people. Okay? There's certain things you can't do when you're married. There's certain things you can't do when you're, a teacher, a police officer, a lawyer. You know what I mean? You have to lead by example. Okay? There's certain things you can't do when you're parents because you got kids and your kids see this stuff. Certain things you can't do. There's a line in everything, and in America today, we cross it. Again, let me say one more time. Where we draw the line with these people coming into our country. Back in the Bible days, you was a slave until you were registered. And I don't mean a slave where they were abusing you or anything like that. I mean a slave to where you were, you did whatever you needed to do to fit in. And I'm not talking about, getting on your knees. I'm talking about you did whatever you need to do for the nation, for that nation to show that you were worthy to be a part of their culture. You didn't just come in there and bring your people in there and say, oh, we'll take the mountain. That's our mountain. You don't just come in here and tell me you want to take the mountain. That's our mountain. Okay? No, but everybody, there's a line that everybody has to, find the right to cross. And then there are some lines you just simply don't cross. And this is America. And America is a culture. America is here for everybody, not just your little group. Nobody has the right to be arrogant over another group, whether it be a racial group or whether it be a religious group or anything like that. But I retain the right to be pro-American. I retain the rights of the flag. I retain the rights of our Judeo-Christian, culture. I retain the right to bear arms, the right to raise my children as I feel is righteous according to the word of God. I retain the right to let women be women and men be men for how God created them to be. I retain these rights, and I'm not giving them up. And I'm not crossing any more lines. I'm not crossing any lines, but I will say what I need to say. Okay? God bless you, D. Roy Cruz, your Life Applications Officer. Signing off. Thank you for watching.